He's Hollywood's hottest screenwriter and literature's greatest mystery. His name is a byword for genius, yet his life is an utter enigma. A 2 centuries-old controversy is now front-page news, as startling evidence rocks the halls of academia. It's the question that won't go away. Who was the true author of the immortal plays and poems that have come down to us under the name William Shakespeare? And now, one of history's greatest mysteries is unraveled by literature's greatest detective. Sherlock Holmes is brought to life by award-winning writer-performer Michael Dunn in a riveting multimedia entertainment, Sherlock Holmes and the Shakespeare Mystery. This mystery began almost 3 centuries ago, as those who loved the Shakespeare plays and poems, seeking to learn more about this extraordinary genius, found that where they expected to find one Shakespeare, there were 2. Now we come to it. Shakespeare number 2, The Origin of Doubt and Mystery. The man from Stratford-on-Avon. 4 centuries worth of diligent search by an army of scholars has revealed the following. No one has ever found authentic writing of any sort by the man known to his neighbours as William Shakespeare, beyond 6 wobbly signatures affixed to legal documents, none of which is related to plays, poetry, or publishing. For all anybody knows and can prove, this man never wrote a play in his life. For all anybody knows and can prove, this man never wrote a letter in his life. Handwriting experts have questioned whether he could write at all. He grew up in a nearly bookless town as the son of parents who could neither read nor write. For that matter, he never taught his children to read or write either. Try wrapping your minds around that. Shakespeare's children couldn't read. Parents, you may feel somewhat sympathetic. Back to our mystery. If Will Shakespeare of Stratford did not write the plays, then who did? And why would this person's authorship be concealed? To answer this question, we must enter a vanished world. The world of England under Queen Elizabeth I. A world strange to our 21st century minds. A world governed by rigid class distinctions. A world ruled by an autocratic queen in a time of bloody upheaval, when torture by the rack was as commonly used as the lie detector is today. It was a world of omnipresent spies and intrigue, when political power lay in the hands of the titled aristocracy and God's anointed monarch, lightly constrained by Parliament. It was a world in which the great majority of people could neither read nor write. A world only a few brief generations removed from the invention of the printing press. A world in which a fine book might cost what an automobile would today. A world which knew nothing of newspapers or a free press. A world in which a devoted subject of the Queen would have his hand chopped off for the crime of having suggested in print that she not marry a foreigner. And still he cried, "God save the Queen," after the axe fell, before he fainted from loss of blood. At the court of Elizabeth I, to be a brilliant poet was to win her favour, and to win her favour was to win riches, influence, power. For our purpose, above all, it was a world in which a nobleman would never allow it to be publicly known that he was the author of published poetry, let alone that he wrote plays for the common stage. To write for the Queen was one thing, but to peddle your words in print like a common tradesman, unthinkable. It is in this vanished world that we must look. in our search for one of the greatest human beings who ever lived. Now, there are those who ask at this point, who cares? What does it matter? We have the great plays and poems, and whoever wrote them has been dead for over 4 centuries. What does it matter who Shakespeare was? Truth matters. Art matters. The struggle to create matters. The man who gave us this great gift deserves to be known and honored. We owe him that. So then, who was he? But Marlowe theorists, or Marlovians as they style themselves, suggest that he didn't really die, but faked his death in order to avoid torture. An interesting theory. And not so far-fetched as it might seem. Faking one's death was an old spy trick, even in those days. But it still leaves us in the Elvis lives category of bootless speculation. No. We need greater proof in our mystery than simply to say Marlowe has left the building. It seemed as if the mystery of Shakespeare would reverberate down to the last days of history. As if these immortal plays were indeed simply a gift from heaven, dropped down out of the blue, the work of no human hand. And quite unexpectedly, one man, theretofore unsuspected, stood out from all the rest, emerging from the mists of history to command the attention of unprejudiced minds. As Ben Jonson said so rightly, the poet's immortal gift to us all, "But stay, I see thee advanced in the heavens and made a constellation there. Shine forth, thou star of poets." He was not of an age, but for all time.